Imagine an uneducated peasant who became one of the most influential figures in the Russian monarchy. His name is Grigory Rasputin. Born into the harsh conditions of Siberian peasantry in the late 19th century, Rasputin's early life was far from illustrious. Yet this simple man would later mystify an entire nation with his supposed divine powers. A turning point came when Rasputin embarked on a pilgrimage to a monastery. There, he claimed to have undergone a religious awakening, transforming himself into a self-proclaimed holy man. His charisma, coupled with his alleged healing abilities, began to attract followers. Rasputin's reputation as a mystic healer and spiritual advisor quickly spread, eventually reaching the ears of the Russian monarchy. But an intriguing question remains. How did this uneducated monk, a man with no formal education or royal lineage, gain such influence over the Tsar and his court? The answer lies in the royal family. Stay tuned as we unravel the enigmatic tale of Monk Rasputin. In the early 20th century, Rasputin made his way into the Russian royal court. Now, this wasn't a simple feat. To understand this, we need to delve into the dynamics of the royal family at the time. At the helm were Tsar Nicholas II and Tsarina Alexandra, a couple deeply devoted to each other and their 5 children. Their youngest, a boy named Alexei, was the heir apparent but was afflicted with hemophilia, a debilitating blood disorder. The royal family was desperate for a cure, and that's where Rasputin comes in. Rasputin, a self-proclaimed holy man, was introduced to the royal family by influential court members who were intrigued by his mystic reputation. He was unlike anyone the royal family had ever encountered, a Siberian peasant with a magnetic personality and a claimed connection to the divine. He quickly captivated the Tsarina Alexandra with his spiritual teachings and charisma. But it wasn't just his charisma that caught the family's attention. Rasputin seemed to possess an uncanny ability to alleviate the suffering of young Alexei during his bouts of hemophilia. Whether it was the power of suggestion, hypnosis, or something else entirely, the Tsarina was convinced of Rasputin's healing powers. This miraculous healing of their precious son drew the royal family closer to Rasputin, solidifying his place in the royal court. Rasputin's relationship with the royal family wasn't without controversy. His influence over the Tsarina was seen as manipulative by some, while others questioned his unconventional methods and the legitimacy of his spiritual powers. Nevertheless, his apparent ability to heal Alexei gave him an unprecedented influence over the royal family. But as we'll see, this influence didn't come without a price. Rasputin's proximity to the royal family, coupled with his unconventional ways and rumors of scandal, would ultimately lead to a dramatic downfall. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's remember this. Rasputin's apparent ability to heal Alexei gave him an unprecedented influence over the royal family. And this influence would have far-reaching effects, not just on the royal family, but on the entire course of Russian history. With power comes controversy, and Rasputin was no stranger to scandal. In the swirling maelstrom of whispers and rumors that surrounded Rasputin, 2 types of scandalous allegations were particularly prominent: his notorious reputation with women and the accusations of corruption and religious heresy. First, let's delve into Rasputin's infamous relationships with women. As a self-proclaimed holy man, he was expected to live a life of piety and purity. However, Rasputin was known for his frequent liaisons with women, often from the highest echelons of Russian society. His charm and charisma, coupled with his supposed spiritual powers, made him an irresistible figure for many. These relationships, often of a scandalous nature, were a source of constant gossip and speculation. They deeply tarnished Rasputin's reputation, turning him into a controversial figure both within the royal court and in the broader Russian society. Now, let's turn our attention to the allegations of corruption and religious heresy. Rasputin was accused of using his close relationship with the Tsar's family for personal gain. He was said to have accepted bribes, meddled in government affairs, and even manipulated the Tsar's decisions. These allegations, if true, meant that Rasputin was exploiting his position of influence for his own ends, a clear corruption of power. Furthermore, many in the Orthodox Church accused Rasputin of being a heretic. His teachings, they claimed, deviated from the traditional doctrines of the Church. Moreover, his scandalous lifestyle seemed to fly in the face of the Church's teachings on morality and piety. These accusations of heresy added another layer to the controversy surrounding Rasputin, further complicating his image as a holy man. Despite these scandals, Rasputin's influence over the royal family remained strong. His supposed healing powers and his close relationship with the Tsarina ensured that he continued to wield significant power within the royal court, even as his reputation outside of it steadily crumbled. This paradoxical situation where power and scandal coexisted is one of the defining aspects of Rasputin's enigmatic life. Rasputin's controversial reign couldn't last forever. His downfall was as dramatic as his rise. As Rasputin's influence grew, so did the resentment against him. His unorthodox methods, scandalous behavior, and perceived manipulation of the royal family sparked outrage among the Russian nobility, clergy, and the general public. A plot to murder him began to take shape, orchestrated by a group of nobles led by Prince Felix Yusupov and Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich. The plan was executed on a cold December night in 1916. Rasputin was invited to Yusupov's palace under the pretense of meeting his wife. The conspirators first tried to poison him with cyanide-laced pastries and wine, but to their astonishment, Rasputin seemed unaffected. Growing desperate, they shot him multiple times, yet Rasputin, seemingly invincible, continued to fight. Finally, he was thrown into the icy Neva River, where he ultimately met his end. His death was as dramatic and mysterious as his life. Some accounts suggest he finally succumbed to hypothermia, while others claim he was still alive when found under the ice, a testament to his perceived supernatural resilience. His body was later discovered, and an autopsy confirmed the cause of death: drowning. Rasputin's death sent shockwaves throughout Russia. The murder of the Mad Monk was seen as a symbol of the nobility's desperate attempt to reclaim power and restore the tarnished image of the monarchy. However, the damage was done. The public's trust in the monarchy had been eroded, and Rasputin's death only served to highlight the chaos and corruption within the royal court. The fall of Rasputin was a precursor to an even more monumental event: the fall of the Russian monarchy itself. Just a few months after Rasputin's death, the February Revolution erupted, leading to the abdication of Tsar Nicholas II and the end of 300 years of Romanov rule. Rasputin's death symbolized the end of an era, and shortly after, the Russian monarchy was no more. Rasputin's life was a whirlwind of power, scandal, and mystery. But what is his legacy today? We're about to delve into that. In the grand tapestry of history, few individuals have generated as much fascination and controversy as Grigory Rasputin. Despite being a simple Siberian peasant, Rasputin's influence reached the highest echelons of the Russian monarchy, shaping the course of a nation and arguably the world. Let's consider his portrayal in popular culture. Rasputin has been cast as everything from a mystical sage to a malevolent manipulator. In films, literature, and even music, his image is constantly being reimagined. He's the embodiment of intrigue, a character who straddles the line between reality and fiction. In many ways, this diverse portrayal mirrors the complexity of the man himself. Beyond the realm of fiction, Rasputin's legacy is also deeply rooted in the academic world. Historians continue to grapple with the enigma that is Rasputin, unearthing new insights and igniting fresh debates. His life and death have become a rich source of study, a window into the tumultuous period of the Russian Revolution. But perhaps the most enduring aspect of Rasputin's legacy is the intrigue he continues to generate. Even a century after his death, the name Rasputin is synonymous with mystery. His story is a fascinating blend of fact and folklore, a narrative that blurs the line between man and myth. The questions surrounding his life, his influence, and his death continue to captivate us, proving that Rasputin's legacy is far from being consigned to the history books. In conclusion, Grigory Rasputin's legacy is multifaceted, deeply entrenched in both popular culture and academic discourse. His story continues to fascinate, perplex, and inspire, ensuring his place in the annals of history. Grigory Rasputin, a simple Siberian peasant who became the Russian monarchy's most contentious figure, remains an enigma wrapped in a riddle, a testament to the unpredictable tide of history.